Okay, so I'm going to tell you what happened when I went to get my endoscopy Thursday. Okay, so, well, we found out that I react very easily to anesthesia because I was laying in a little, like, prep room on the bed in the stretcher in my hospital gear, and, the anesthesiologist's nurse came in, and she was like, okay, we're going to give you just this little starter stuff, nothing important, blah, blah, blah. It's like, stick. So she gives me, like, these 3 little things, and, like, one of them's, like, saline, and to, like, flush it out, and then, like, these 2 other things that aren't really supposed to do much. They're just, like, the prep stuff, right? Okay, well, I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, everything just, my hearing went, whoa, like, if Slinkies had a sound, this is what they would sound like, because everything's like, wow, 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 but it was everything, like, everything had this sound. It was like I could hear the sound of the world, like, everything was emanating a sound, like, everything was vibrating, okay? So, at first I'm like, looking around like, oh my god, what's going on? And then I start going loopy, and so I'm like, and, like, literally my mom's in my face is like, I'm just so excited, but in my head, I'm like, nothing is going on, nothing is funny, I need to stop, and I was getting so embarrassed, and, like, all the people there were laughing, and they're like, the doctor comes in, and he's like, what did you give her? And the nurse is like, nothing, just this, and he's like, well, I mean, I guess I could do that, but I've never seen anyone react like this before, so I'm just like this, and they're, like, wheeling me down the hallway, and then, like, I'm, like, so embarrassed, so I'm, like, and everything's making weird sounds, and everything's bright, and it was just so weird. And then they, took me into the room, and one of the chicks is like, hi, and I'm like, hey, and the doctor's like, okay, I'm gonna give you this stuff, then put some milk in there, and I was like, looking at me, he's like, it's not really milk, and I'm like, yeah, and then, bam, knocked out, done, completely out. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up in the bed, and apparently, I was like, did I wake myself up, or did you wake me up? And she was like, well, we didn't wake you up, we adjusted you because you were, like, gargling, and we wanted to make sure you could breathe. And I'm like, and I apparently said, oh, my bad. And I was just very loopy for the rest of the day, and I would, like, say things like, she went to get me some water, I was like, thank you for being so nice to me. And I had to pee, and I, like, could barely walk, and yeah, it was a fun time. I didn't talk about John Gomez, though. Well, I almost asked them to turn on the summer set, because they had, like, that hospital music playing, and I was gonna ask them to turn on the summer set, and I was like, no one wants to listen to the summer set. So, yeah, that's what happened when I went and got my endoscopy done. Good times.